This is Chris Potatoes. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Potatoes, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE SummerSlam 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about SummerSlam. Now we kick off with the first match of the night. It was the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, versus Becky Lynch, one-on-one for the Raw Women's Championship. And this match, I'm not gonna lie, it was so damn good. I thought the match at WrestleMania was good. I don't know, this one probably is up there with that match, or probably a little bit better, in my opinion. Like, at one point, we actually seen Bianca hit the KOD onto Becky on the barricade at one point, which looked nice. And then at one point, Becky jumped off the leg drop onto the back of her head, off the barricade as well, which looked nice. Both of them kept on going at it a lot of times. Bianca actually hit the KOD on the Becky outside the ring, and then threw her back in the ring, going at it and stuff. Almost got the 3 count, but she kicked out. And then at one point, Bianca climbed up the top turnbuckle. Becky grabs her hair, pulls her down off the top turnbuckle, and then hits the manhandle slam onto Bianca, and then pins her in a nice-ass position that everybody should go see. And Bianca barely kicked out at 2. Both of them kept on going at it. At the ending, we see Bianca hit the Spanish Fly Splash onto Becky off the top turnbuckle, lifts her up, hits the KOD, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Becky Lynch tonight and has retained the Raw Women's Championship. That's what happened. Great match. If you have yet, go check out that match. But then after the match ended, Becky went over there to go shake Bianca's hand. Bianca didn't want to at first. Fans was going crazy. And then she shook her hand. And then, yeah, it looks like now Becky Lynch is a face now. And the feud between them is over now. So, yeah, it was a great feud, though. I remember last year at SummerSlam, everybody hated that Becky finished Bianca in a few seconds now. And you know what? I'm okay with that now if you look back at it. I mean, at the time, it was just stupid. But now, since the storyline is over, it makes sense. It was great. So, yeah. But then, after the match ended, Bianca was in the ring celebrating. And then, all of a sudden, Bayley's theme song hits. Bayley makes her return back to WWE. She comes out. But then, all of a sudden, Dakota Kai makes her return. I think she got released. And then Dakota Kai makes a return, and it was crazy because, you know, she got released or whatever not long ago. So, yeah, she comes back and makes her return side by side with Bayley. And then Io Shirai comes out. So, yeah, Bayley returns from injury. Dakota Kai and Io Shirai debuts on the main roster, and this is Dakota Kai's first time back in the WWE since being released. And then Io Shirai was injured, and then, you know, returns back in action. So, yeah. They all 3 get into the ring, and it looks like they're going to team up and make a faction now between those 3 women. They get in the ring, standing face-to-face with Bianca. It looks like they was going to jump Bianca. And then Becky Lynch gets in the ring, side-by-side with Bianca. Man, pretty much they all had a stare down, and Bayley, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai left out the ring. So, yeah, that's what happened there. But, like I said, great match between those 2 women. It was great to see Bayley and Io Shirai and Dakota Kai make their return back to the company. So, yeah, great stuff. And you can obviously tell this is Triple H's booking. Like, boy, this is great. But, yeah, great start to SummerSlam. If you have yet, go check out all that stuff. Great. With the match and what happened after the match, I'll give it 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was great stuff. Well, actually, I'll probably give it 5 stars. It was a great start to SummerSlam. And we still got hell of more stuff going on tonight. But yeah, that was just the first thing that happened on SummerSlam. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, we had a one-on-one match. It was Logan Paul versus The Miz with Ciampa and Maurice at ringside. And this match, it was a pretty damn good match. If you have yet, go check out this match. So far, like, the last 2 matches, we're only 2 matches in. They've been really good. So yeah, here we go discussing about it. So yeah, like I said, Logan Paul was doing, you know, a lot of crazy stuff, doing moonsaults off the apron on some Miz and stuff like that, doing hell of stuff. But then at one point we see Logan in the corner, Ciampa gets on the apron, about to punch Logan, but then the referee catches him, tells Ciampa to go backstage. He ejected him from ringside, and it looks like that. Ciampa instead, he grabs a steel chair, puts out there, and just sits down on it. So he's like, "No, I'm not leaving." And all of a sudden, AJ Styles' theme song hits. Styles, instead of coming out, everybody was waiting for him, but then he just jumps off the barricade, jumping onto Ciampa, beating him down and stuff. So yeah, he came through the crowd. He was fighting Ciampa, and they go back into the crowd brawling and stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we're getting into the ending. Logan Paul at one point hit the frog splash onto the Miz through the announce table, picks him up, throws him back into the ring, pins him. But then while he was pinning him, the referee was distracted because Maurice was on the ring apron. And then, Logan stops pinning him and goes like, "What the hell, get off the apron," and stuff. And then Miz grabs the, I think it was like a cell phone or something. He grabs something. And then he was about to hit Logan, but Logan ducks. The referee moved out of the way. Maurice almost got hit, but Miz stopped at the last second. Scared Maurice. She got off the apron. And then, while Miz was distracted by that, Logan comes up from behind him, steals Miz's finisher, the Skull Crush finale, and got the 3 count. So yeah, Logan Paul defeated the Miz tonight at SummerSlam. That's what happened. It was a very great match. Oh yeah, and I forgot at one point Logan actually did the phenomenal forearm onto Miz. So yeah, that was really great. But yeah, like I said, great match. If you have yet, go check it out. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a really great match between these two guys. Logan Paul, he's like natural in the ring, like way better than Ronda Rousey and all of them in the ring. I'll say that much. And probably better than the majority of the people that wrestles in WWE. So yeah, I'll say that much. Logan is just natural in the ring. But yeah, he did really great. This is his first one-on-one match in WWE. So yeah, it was really great, and hopefully, he already signed a contract. But yeah, can't wait to see him back in the ring again. I will say that much. So yeah, like I said, great match. If you have the go check it out. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. Still many more matches that go on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on SummerSlam, it was a one-on-one match. It was the United States Champion, Bobby Lashley, versus Mr. Money in the Bank Theory in a one-on-one match for the United States Championship. And right when the match was about to start, it didn't start yet, but while Lashley was doing his entrance and stuff in the ring, Theory starts attacking him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, trying to get like an opportunity and stuff. So yeah, then the match starts, both of them going at it. Theory's taking advantage of majority of the time, but then Theory starts coming back a little bit. Lashley, at one point, I think it was probably a botch, because what it looked like was like when Theory rolls through that second rope, rolling through and then jumping up or whatever. I thought Lashley did like a belly-to-belly suplex, but I guess he did like a blockbuster. I don't know which one he did. It looked like a botch to me, but who knows. But then we get to the very ending where Theory was trying to do the same thing, jump through the second rope with the roll through, but then he gets caught in the military press by Lashley, and Lashley makes him land on his feet, locking on Hurt Lock, making Theory tap out. So yeah, Bobby Lashley defeated Theory tonight in a one-on-one match and has retained the United States Championship. That's what happened. It was a great match. It was an okay match. So yeah, for that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was an okay match. So far, that's the weakest match on the card, but we still got plenty more matches on the card, but it was all right. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing the Judgment Day versus the Mysterios up next in a tag team match. That match will be happening up next. Still to come later on tonight, the last man standing match with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar tonight, which will be the main event. And yeah. So yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing that happens on WWE SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, it was a tag team match. It was Rey and Dominik, the Mysterios, versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley at ringside. The Judgment Day in a tag team no disqualification match. So yeah, this tag team match was a no DQ match. It was a pretty good match. It was pretty good. Like, they had steel chairs and stuff. It wasn't like They never brought in tables or nothing. It was really like just steel chairs and pretty much what happens at the ending. So yeah, at one point, we was getting closer and closer to the ending of the match, where it looked like the Mysterio was going to pick up the win. They looked like they was going to hit the double 619 onto Priest and Balor, but then Ripley gets involved by dragging, knocking both of them down when they ran to the ropes, and then Rhea Ripley picks up Dominik on her shoulders and drops him face first on the ring apron, laying him out, and then that's when Priest goes over there and hits that sit-out chokeslam onto Rey Mysterio, and then Finn Balor's telling Rhea Ripley to give him the steel chair so he can use the chair. But then all of a sudden, a theme song hits, and it's like a new theme song or whatever, and then all of a sudden we see the fire and stuff, and then it's Edge. So yeah, Edge makes his return back. He was doing entrance with the Brood entrance pretty much, with a new song or whatever. Coming through or whatever, has the sunglasses on. He gets down, starts walking down the entrance way, but then Priest decides to get out the ring, runs over there, he gets hit with a big boot, and then Edge gets in the ring, hits a spear onto Finn Balor, and then Priest gets back in the ring, and then he gets hit with a spear by Edge, and then that's when Rey and Dominik hits a double 619 onto Finn Balor, and then Rey hits a splash on the Balor and then pins Balor for the 3 count. So yeah, the Mysterios defeated the Judgment Day tonight in the no DQ tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match. If you have, go check out that match. It was great to see Edge making his return back and all that stuff. So yeah, for that match, I'll give it. I'll probably give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. So yeah, or I'll give it 3 stars. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. But yeah, if you have, go check out the match. And up next, we're going to be seeing Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin up next. So I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, it was a one-on-one match. It was Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin one-on-one. Now, Happy Corbin was making his entrance down, and then all of a sudden we hear a lot of people saying, bum-ass Corbin, and no, it was not the fans. It was like this, it was just like a band of people pretty much just standing there saying, bum-ass Corbin, and started singing a Pat McAfee song, and he comes out. And then it was an okay match. It was some mess-ups, obviously, with this match, but it wasn't, like, too bad, I'll say. So, yeah, we'll get to the ending where McAfee climbed up the top turnbuckle because Corbin got knocked out of the ring. He climbs up the top turnbuckle. He was about to freaking slip and fall, but thank God he did it. He caught his balance in time and then jumps off with the front flip onto Happy Corbin and then throws Corbin back into the ring. And then they was going at it. Pat McAfee punches Corbin in the face. Corbin, knocks down the referee on accident. He's checking on the referee. He turns back around. He gets punted in the nuts by Pat McAfee. And then McAfee tells him to suck it. Climbs up the second turnbuckle. Jumps off with the sunset flip onto Happy Corbin. And then got the 3 count. So yeah, Pat McAfee defeated Happy Corbin tonight on SummerSlam. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2 stars. 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match 2.5 stars. I'll say Pat McAfee's match against Theory at WrestleMania was a little bit better, but this match was okay. So yeah, that's why I'll give the match 2.5 stars. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. And it looks like up next we're going to be seeing Drew McIntyre, actually. So yeah, see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, now before I talk about the tag team title match, we got to talk about Drew McIntyre. So yeah, he came out and pretty much, he don't got a match for tonight's SummerSlam, but yeah, he came out talking about like how he'll go to Clash of the Castle and face either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns and win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Clash of the Castle. So yeah, that's what he was saying, and then fans was cheering and all that. So yeah, and then we get to the match. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Jimmy and Jay the Usos versus Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, in a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and Jeff Jarrett was the special guest referee for this match. And this match was pretty good. I'll say that their match at Money in the Bank was a little bit better in my opinion, but this match was still good. So yeah, there was multiple times it was going back and forth with the Usos and the Street Profits and all that stuff. They almost picked up the win multiple times, each one of them did. At one point we see the Usos hit a super kick on Angelo Dawkins, hit the Superfly Splash, pins them, 1, 2, he barely kicked out at 2, and then they decided to hit a double a double Uso splash onto Angelo Dawkins again, goes for the pin, 1, 2, and then Montez breaks the pin at 2. And then we get to the ending where I think it was Jey Uso that was about to hit the super kick onto Montez, onto Angelo, but Angelo moved out the way, and he almost hit the super kick onto Jeff Jarrett like he did at last night's SmackDown, but Jeff Jarrett caught his foot, pushed him away. He turns around, he gets hit with a sky high by Angelo Dawkins, and then that's when Montez climbed at the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the frog splash onto Jey Uso, but then he starts holding onto his ribs because apparently his ribs started hurting, and then he goes for the pin, 1, 2, Jey kicks out at 2, and then then Montez starts arguing with Jeff Jarrett because he's telling Jeff Jarrett that he should have counted to 3, but he said it's okay, he'll do anything that way he can do to win, and then he tags at Angelo. He starts about to hit a suicide dive onto both of the Usos, but they hit a double super kick onto him when he was coming out of the ring, and then they throw him over the barricade, and then Angelo comes out from the other side of the ring, and then he gets hit with a double super kick by him, and then he gets thrown back into the ring, and then they hit the 1D onto Angelo Dawkins, and then got the 3 count. So yeah, the Usos has defeated the Street Profits and has retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Great stuff. But yeah, pretty good. Like I said, the match at Money in the Bank was a little bit better, but this match was still pretty good. So yeah, that's what happened there. They retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and it looks like up next we're going to be seeing Riddle. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, so we get Riddle, he comes out there, he grabs the mic and stuff, and then he was talking about, because pretty much, if you guys know, he was supposed to take on Seth Rollins tonight at SummerSlam, but that match ain't happening because Seth Rollins injured him or whatever. So yeah, that's why Riddle came out, grabbed the mic, and he goes like, well, my best friend Randy told me never back down from a fight and all that stuff, and never take crap from anybody. So Seth Rollins, I'm calling your ass out, bro. So yeah, that's what he says. Seth Rollins starts coming out. A bunch of officials and stuff was trying to tell Riddle to get out of the ring at first, but then all of a sudden Seth Rollins comes out, and we got a bunch of referees and officials trying to hold him back, but Rollins says, screw that crap. He starts running down the entrance, which was funny as hell for some reason. So he starts running down the entrance, and then Riddle gets out of the ring and starts running out there as well, and both of them starts brawling. They got into the ring brawling and stuff, and then that's when Seth Rollins beats him down, hits the curb stomp onto him, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened there. Seth Rollins laid out Riddle. So yep, it was an okay segment, I guess, to keep on continuing this feud between Seth Rollins and Riddle. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing the SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey up next for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, it was a one-on-one match. It was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, one-on-one for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And we get into this match, and Liv Morgan, Ronda was doing okay in this match. It wasn't that bad, but we getting closer and closer to the ending. Liv kept on trying to roll up Ronda, but Ronda kept on kicking out and stuff. And you know what? This finish that they did, I think it was the best thing that they can do. Here's the finish. So what happened was Ronda Rousey locked on the armbar onto Liv, but Liv was still standing or whatever, and pretty much had Ronda's shoulders down to the mat. She got the 3 count, but at the same time she tapped out. So yeah, But Liv Morgan retained the SmackDown Women's Championship, so I think that was the best thing that they can do, so Ronda wouldn't lose too bad or whatever, and same for Liv. So yeah, I think that was the best thing that they can do as possible. But yeah, it was great to see that happen. But then after the match, Ronda Rousey got mad, starts tossing around Liv Morgan, locked on the armbar. Referee got her to break it off, break up the submission, and then she starts attacking the referee, flips him, and then locks on the armbar on him as well. And then a bunch of officials had to stop her from doing that as well. So yeah, that's what happened. Liv Morgan retains the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it looks like Ronda Rousey has now turned heel. So yeah, pretty good stuff though. So far, SummerSlam has been pretty good, actually. So yeah, with that match and stuff, I'll give the match. I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was like okay, but the finish was the best thing in my opinion. So yeah, that's what happened there, and yeah. But then after that, we see Kane come out because, of course, he's the mayor in Tennessee, and they're in Tennessee tonight. And pretty much he just announces what the attendance in the building is, like, 48,499, I think. So yeah, that's the attendance, over 48,000 people. So yeah, that's what Kane said, and then he done his thing and walked out. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SummerSlam. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on SummerSlam, it was a main event. It was the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman at ringside versus Brock Lesnar one-on-one in a last man standing match for the title. And this match was a pretty good match. Now, before I talk about the match, Paul Heyman was with Roman Reigns at ringside. The Usos, they came out with Roman at one point, but he told the Usos to go backstage, and they went backstage. And then Roman grabs the mic and he tells everybody in the arena to acknowledge him. And then Brock Lesnar comes out, but this man comes out with a freaking tractor. He comes out there with it, grabs the mic, and he says, I will be the one as the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the world. So yeah, that's what Brock Lesnar said, and then we get the match underway, but while the ring announcer was saying their names and all that, we see Brock Lesnar jumped off the freaking tractor, doing like a loose-ass press onto Roman, beating him down and stuff. He was dominating the match majority of the time. He had some German suplexes, some belly-to-belly suplexes and all that. Going through the crowd, brawling with Roman and all that stuff. Kept on dominating the majority of the time. Throws him into the freaking fork of the tractor, lifts him up, dumps him back into the ring. And then he starts laying him out with some F5s and stuff in the middle of the ring. And Roman had to get back up by the count of 9. Roman tried to lock on the guillotine at one point, but Brock reversed it into a guillotine for himself, making Roman pass out and all that. Brock was just dominating the majority of the match. And then he gets back into the tractor, use that fork, and then lift up the freaking whole entire ring, dumping Roman out of the ring to the outside of the floor and just straight up destroy the ring. So yeah, that's what Brock did. And then they go out there, both of them starts brawling and stuff. Brock is beating Roman down, and then the Usos comes out trying to interfere and stuff, but Brock lays both of them out with some belly-to-belly suplexes as well. And then Paul Heyman comes up saying, here, I'll give you the titles, just leave my tribal chief alone. Brock Lesnar wasn't having none of it. He lifts him up on his shoulders and hits an F5 on Paul Heyman through the announce table, laying him out. And then that's when Roman comes up with a spear onto Brock Lesnar. But while both guys was down, Theory comes out, about to cash in the Money in the Bank contract. But then Theory comes out trying to cash in the Money in the Bank contract while this match is happening, and he hits Roman upside the head with the briefcase. And then that's when Brock Lesnar comes up, hits the F5 on the Theory, taking him out. And then that's when Roman got back up, starts laying Brock out with the briefcase, beating him down. And then hit Theory at one point with the briefcase as well. Kept on laying in some spears and Superman punches on a Brock and stuff, but he wasn't staying down. And then Roman had enough, and then the Usos comes up, hitting some super kicks on a Brock, laying him out as well. But Brock was not staying down. This man was a freaking beast throughout the whole match. And then Roman had enough, grabs the title, hits Brock upside the head. Brock got back up by the count of 9. hits him upside the head again with the title, but then this time he buries him underneath a bunch of stuff like stove steps, broken pieces to the announce table and all that, and then this man got the 10 count. So yeah, Roman Reigns has defeated Brock Lesnar tonight and has retained the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and he was the last man standing. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match. If you have yet, go check out that match. I would say, in my opinion, best match between Roman versus Brock. Damn sure better than the WrestleMania match from this year. But yeah, I think when these guys face off, it should be freaking like last man standing matches and all that shit, because yeah, they're better with with stipulations, I guess. So yeah, like I said, pretty good match. I'll give that match I'll give it 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. But yeah, if you have yet, go check out that match for tonight's SummerSlam. It was a pretty good show. We see Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, and Bayley return. We see Edge return. We've seen that great match between Becky and Bianca. I'll probably say that was probably match. Actually, I would say the last man standing match was match of the night. Bianca versus Becky was freaking great. The Street Profits versus the Usos was a great one. Bobby Lashley versus Theory was okay. Liv Morgan versus Ronda was alright. And Logan Paul versus The Miz was pretty good. Surprisingly, Logan Paul did freaking great in his first ever one-on-one match. And Riddle getting beat up with Seth Rollins is alright, but I still wish that Seth Rollins had a mystery opponent. That would have been cool. And yeah, I think that was everything with SummerSlam. Pretty good show, though. If you have yet, go check out this show. It was a great show. I would say this is WWE's best pay-per-view for this year. But yeah, it was a really great show. If you have yet, go check out this show. For tonight's SummerSlam, out of 10 stars, I'll give it 9.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a great show. So yeah, if you have yet, go check it out. It was a great show from top to bottom. And yeah, like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'll be down there in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys later for this Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.